How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Nick Nielsen, and today we want to take a look at Ron Marinaccio, a guy who kind of came out of nowhere this season. He's been tremendous in the month of June, really locked down, come in, and really help supplement some, whether it be injury issues or adversity the bullpen has faced over the last couple of weeks. He has filled a really nice role here. He's become a reliable pitcher for this Yankee bullpen and manager Aaron Boone. So, before we dive into Ron Marinaccio, what he's done this season, how well he's performed, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. This is the episode I've been waiting for. This is the moment. This is Ron the Don. This is where we get to talk about Ron Marinaccio, and I don't just have to, fit in a minute splurge every episode we do about how good he's been. So I'm very excited for this episode. This is my guy. Ryan and I were talking about him before the season. Ryan really put me on his train, and I was like, all right, I knew he had good stuff in the minors, but now I'm like 100% on board Marinaccio. He may be my favorite Yankee, dare I say. So I'm really excited to dive into how good he's been. And the team just completed the sweep of Oakland, literally like it was nothing. I mean, granted, the starting pitching was a bit spotty, but we still swept them and more or less kind of made it look rather easy, in my opinion. So that's all I could have asked for out of that series. On to Houston again tonight. Big game. Sevy's back. Ooh, I believe it's Sevy Verlander, right? Or is it Sevy Javier tonight?
Garcia, I thought.
Oh, Garcia. Okay, well, we should be able to hit him around a little bit if it's Garcia. But no, I'm excited for the game tonight. Yankees have been playing some elite baseball, and I'm excited to dive into Ron Marinaccio. He's been a big reason as to why they've been playing some elite baseball.
Yeah, so it is Garcia.
Gotcha.
I thought I had that right. He has a 3.68 ERA this year. Giving up 12 homers, so pretty similar numbers actually. A lot less strikeouts compared to Severino, but similar numbers overall. Same whip, almost the same amounts of innings, almost the same amount of hits, walks, and homers. Just the strikeout numbers. Good game. Yeah, it should be a good game. Any game against the Astros is a good one, and hopefully we'll see Marinaccio
this time.
Yeah, it's in Houston, and the Yankees kind of struggled at home against the Astros last week. Split the series, but really just relied on Aaron Judge to bail him out a couple times. But Ron Marinaccio came in and had a couple of or had maybe one appearance, and looked pretty good. I mean, this month, man, he has been absolutely lethal. He's the only pitch he's actually given up a hit. He's given up one hit, a singular hit, and it was off his slider. So his worst pitch. So he has 13 at bats against his changeup, 11 at bats against his four seam, and 7 against his slider. He's given up one hit in all those combined this month. On the season, I mean, he's just still absolutely killing it. I mean, batters rating 136 against his four seam. He is barely giving up any hits. One hit against his changeup, which is using at 35% of the time.
Yep.
And then his slider, 231 that he's getting hit on, but still, like, even though that's his worst pitch, it's still like performing quite well. And he's generating a 45.8% whiff rate on his changeup. That pitch has been absolutely nasty. It's pretty impressive to see what he's done. Like, he bounced back from a pretty tumultuous start to the year, and now he's turned into a pretty reliable arm that Boone can kind of throw him into high leverage situations and believe like he's going to get us out of this inning, or he's going to shut down an opposing team for an inning or two. Really nice little pitcher. What is your impression of him so far?
Well, Alex, you just hit me with the stats like a Tommy gun. That was every one of those was exactly what I was going to say. Like, the dude, his pitch mix it's so good to the only problem with Marinaccio is control. That's the only issue. He does issue a good amount of walks. Even this month, his walk per nine is still 4.5 to his strikeout per nine of 9. So it's basically a 2-to-1 walk strikeout ratio or strikeout to walk ratio is what he's rolling with right now. And that's not elite. On the season, his 28% strikeout rate to his 12% walk rate is kind of more in line with what you want to see from Marinaccio. He's going to walk a couple of guys, but his stuff is so disgusting that I don't think he throws it in the zone 44% of the time. He's not even a half of the time in the zone pitcher. And it's because all of his stuff moves so much. Like, his worst pitch is a slider, and that still has 21 inches of break. And it's not that good of a pitch, in my opinion. He can only really throw it against righties, and even then, it's not that disgusting of a pitch. But his changeup is so fucking filthy. Like, I've never seen a pitch that has that much movement, and it's like he just throws it and it goes wherever it wants to go. Sometimes it's on in the hands for the righties, down and low to the lefties. I've never seen a guy that has that dominant of a pitch. And I've seen a lot of really good pitches. Like, I think it's an 80 grade pitch, his changeup. I mean, this season, for reference, batters are slugging 083 against his changeup, and he's thrown it 111 times. Only an average exit velocity of 81 miles an hour off that pitch. I mean, the best comp I can think of for Ron Marinaccio as a Yankees pitcher in recent memory is Tommy Kahnle. And Tommy Kahnle's 2019 season, he threw his changeup, I want to say, let me see here, 52% of the time, with a whiff rate of 49% and a put away percentage of 31%. Marinaccio this season's throwing his changeup less, 35% of the time, but it has a 46% whiff rate and a 32% put out percentage. So he's doing better with this pitch. Yes, he's using it less than Tommy Kahnle was. And everyone remembers how disgusting Tommy Kahnle's changeup was. It got to the point where the Yankees said, stop throwing your fastball as your primary pitch. Use that changeup. And that's what I think we're going to start seeing more with Marinaccio going forward. Is, yeah, you have a good fastball. It touches 96. I mean, he touched 100 in the minors a couple of, I want to say last year in minor leagues, or maybe it was earlier this year in minor leagues. So they know he can do it. It's just when you have that good of a changeup, if you can locate it a little bit better, and I think he will. I mean, it's only a matter of time. This is his rookie year of baseball. Like, the dude was not really, honestly, I bet, expecting to have a big role in this team coming into this season. And here he is pitching in 7th, 8th inning ball games of 1-run, 2-run baseball. So it's like he's answered the call. He's got the repertoire to be elite. And I think that if the Yankees just continue to give him opportunities, then he'll deliver. Like, that was the reason, I think, at least, he was struggling in that first month and a half, is that he pitched like every 12 days, would come in with runners on, and would be asked to do a job that's like, all right, you're just kind of giving him a garbage throwaway bullpen appearance here. And then he got sent down, and then he came back up, and then he had the bomb against the Rays, and then he got sent down, and then he came back up. And since then, he's been lights out. Like, he's done everything the Yankees could have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, what I like most about him is his approach. Like, he's super calm. He never like looks like he's rattled. He never looks like he's Ron the Don. Like, he looks like, you know, he's gonna take his sister out for dinner. Like, you know, that's that's what he looks like. You know, he's got the eyes. Look at him. He looks like Tommy Shelby out here.
Dude, he actually does. I was watching the season finale of Peaky Blinders with my roommate last night for the second time. And Tommy, and now that Ron got the haircut too, I don't know if you saw that. He got a fresh skin fade. He looks exactly like Tommy Shelby. So it's like Ray Liotta and Tommy Shelby are like together. And that's what Ron Marinaccio looks like. So like Ron the Don of the bullpen just flows off the tongue. It's like velvet.
It does. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, having a guy like, you know, there's a couple guys that don't really show emotion, right? Another one being like Clay Holmes. And even Michael King. These guys just don't show emotion, and they're so calm. They just, if anything happens, they completely forget about it. And I like that about Marinaccio. You have, as a bullpen arm, as a high-end relief pitcher, you have to be able to forget quickly, because if someone hits a homer off you, if someone gets a hit off of you, like, you're in there to shut a team down for 1 inning, right? Maybe 2 innings max most times. So you have to be in there and out of there quickly, and you got to have your best stuff. You can't ramp up. Like, you're not a starting pitcher. Like, sometimes starting pitchers have a tough first inning just to get into the rhythm of things, and then they kind of lock it down for the rest. But for a relief pitcher, you got to come in there ready to go and ready to have your best stuff immediately. Marinaccio has shown that over the past couple of weeks. And like you said, some decent velocity, hitting 94 on average with this fastball.
Yeah, he's touched 96 a couple of times this season, which is nice. That's good. When he amps it up, he can amp it up, I feel like. I think he doesn't want to throw it as hard. I don't know. I could just be stupid by saying I don't know if he wants to throw it 96, 97 every time. Like, I feel like him throwing it 93, 94 allows for it to kind of get that backward movement that he wants, kind of move like a two-seam. Like, I don't know. Continue with your point. Sorry, yeah.
No. I agree. I think, like, his pitches have a lot of movement. And for a relief pitcher, you know, especially guys in this Yankee bullpen like King, like Holmes, even Wandy, like, they have a lot of movement on their pitches.
Castro, that's all he has is movement. It's just throw movement, dog.
Yeah, he was increased his slider usage like 50%.
Ryan did a great dive on that, by the way. Great dive in.
That was a great video, and breaking down how Miguel Castro has essentially saved his season with a little sequence strategy approach that has changed. And Marinaccio hasn't changed, like, his pitch usage incredibly, you know, significantly. But I will say, like, his stuff has just gotten better. Like, he's gotten more confident, and you look at his pitch chart and like where his pitches are going. It's like a freaking abstract piece of paint, like a painting. All over the place. Like, you never, if you're an opposing team and you're like, okay, Ron Marinaccio is coming in, where does he like to throw this pitcher? Like, bro, it looks like he's just throwing darts. You know what I mean? Like, that could also attest his location isn't very good.
Yeah.
But
you look at his changeup location, and it's all like 90% of the red is in the bottom of the zone.
And it drops down.
And it drops down a ton. He throws a lot of that pitch really, really low, and then inside to righties, as you can see by the chart. And then for the four-seam fastball, his biggest issue is that he throws it a lot down the heart of the plate. Like, his meatball percentage this season, I want to say, is like 7%, 8.5%, which is higher than you'd want it to be. But with that, he's also not giving up home runs. I don't think he's given up a home run this season. And he's giving up a lot of soft contact fly balls. Like his line drive percent for the month is 2.8% or 3.8%. But his fly ball rate's like 45%. So he's giving up a lot of soft fly balls, which is not great a lot of the time, you know. Sometimes it goes to center field. Like you've seen Judge make a couple of nice plays on Marinaccio pitching appearances where it's like, damn, that one a little bit more and that would have been gone. But overall, you can't ask more out of a guy that's a rookie, 26 years old, and making more or less much bigger of an impact and being thrown into a much bigger situation than he or you or I could have imagined. Like coming into this season, the Yankees bullpen was expected to be very, very good, but they were not expected to have the likes of Mike King being very, very good and Ron Marinaccio being very, very, very good and Wandy Peralta being very, very good and us having solved Miguel Castro all of a sudden and Clay Holmes being the best relief pitcher in baseball. Like all of this was like they were expected to be good, but not this good. Everything's gone right for the Yankees. And one of those things is Ron Marinaccio. And the thing is that you can't send him down because in AAA, he just absolutely annihilates the competition. This year, in only 6 2/3 innings, he has a 20.25 K over 9 and a 1.35 walk per 9. So it's like the dude's just striking out everyone that steps up to the plate against him in AAA. Like I think that equates out to, let me do a little bit of math here. Over his 6.2 innings, he's got to have a, let me think here. That looks like 6.2 innings. I'm an idiot. I'm not trying to be an idiot. 15 strikeouts in 6.2 innings, like in AAA. So he's basically way too good for AAA. And the only reason you send him down is to use his options. But at this point, I feel like Marinaccio has earned his place in the bullpen and should not be demoted at all. Like I think he's starting to become more trusted than the likes of Wandy Peralta.
I was going to say, I think that's probably a situation that we're approaching, if not have already reached. I think that I would trust. The thing is about Marinaccio is like his stuff isn't like blow away great, right? No. It's like he has
just his changeup, honestly. His changeup's blow away great.
He has a great changeup, but his slider's underwhelming. His fastball doesn't have great velocity.
Yeah, it's average.
And honestly, this might sound crazy, but his lack of location with his fastball honestly might be helping him. Because like batters are like, okay, he doesn't like this lower left quadrant. He doesn't like this quadrant. It just freaking goes wherever it's gonna go.
Wherever, yeah.
And then you have the changeup, which, you know, a lot of it, like if you look at the spray chart, exactly where he's pitching, a lot of his fastballs are middle and up. That's where he's throwing the most of it. So that changeup is coming in, looking at like it's coming middle, and then it drops down low, whereas the fastball is rising high. So it's kind of like an interesting little like correlation where like a batter's probably just the depth perception is off and he's just kind of playing with them, which is different, especially when you're coming off of it. I think he's also good coming off of specific starting pitchers. You know what I mean? Pitchers that are throwing a lot like sinkers and sliders across, like sweeping sliders across the plate, things that are like dipping and moving. And then you bring him in and he's throwing like it's just going everywhere. And then you have the changeup that's dropping out of the zone. Like one thing that I do think he needs to improve upon is his first pitch strike. So he's only throwing a strike about 58% of the time. He's throwing a strike on the first pitch. You look like Clay Holmes, they're like 63, 64%. If you could increase that like 5%, I think that would go a long way toward helping him establish himself as like an aggressive pitcher. Like if he can get a little bit more aggressive and attack batters and gain that leverage, I think it's going to go a long way towards his confidence and just being like the longevity of his game. Because when you throw in that many balls at times right off the bat, you're already in catch-up mode, right? You're already playing catch-up. So
and he throws his slider first a lot of the time too, from what I've noticed. And he only throws that pitch 11% of the time.
His walk is weird. Bad.
But it's because whenever I've noticed this a lot. So specifically, and I believe not the last outing that he had where he literally came out there for one batter and got a strikeout. So it's like, okay, that by Ron, that was his last appearance. I believe it was against Oakland. But before that, he had the appearance where he had the flawless inning of like 7 pitches. And then the next inning, he came out and he walked 2 guys. And then he got pulled and Miguel Castro came in and saved the day. So it's like there are moments where it's like maybe the moment's a bit too big, or maybe you shouldn't use him for another inning here. Or sometimes the really good hitters do have Marinaccio's number, but then you see him against other really good hitters and he just doesn't seem phased. Like I remember earlier on, I want to say last week or 2 weeks ago against the Blue Jays, threw like a fastball down the middle to Vlad Guerrero to like start the count. He did it numerous times to Bo Bichette. He had Bo Bichette's number. He did it to Teoscar Hernandez and Lourdes Gurriel. Like the dude has no fear. So it's like if he can kind of just use that with his ability to throw basically knee buckling changeups and just pound the zone a little bit more, like you said, especially to start batters off, throw more first pitch strikes, throw more fastballs to start off the count, and then work your changeup in from there. Because that's the other thing. If you throw a a fastball for a first pitch strike and it's 0-1, you can literally throw 4 straight changeups for all I care because he will swing at 2 of them. Like, that's how good of a pitch it is. They're swinging at it 48% of the time anyways. Just throw it more. Throw it at 45% of the time instead of 35% that you're running with. Throw your fastball a little bit less. And Ron Marinaccio could literally be one of the best bullpen arms in the American League East.
Well, I would love to see that. That would be awesome. Hopefully he continues to progress and make some really good outings and just be efficient and productive and, hold it down. If he gets in a little bit of trouble, just keep that calm composure like he has and just keep rolling. Roll with the punches. The Astros today, I would expect him to get a little bit of action because the Astros are actually without Pena, Jordan, and Brantley. So half their freaking
if we don't win
out.
this game, oh god.
Yeah, well, they had that injury yesterday. Jordan and Pena ran into each other, so that looked pretty nasty. Both of them are out today, and then Brantley's out for whatever reason. So they're going in with their AAA squad. The Yankees should go in there and kick the crap out of them, and then
just don't pitch to Kyle Tucker. That's it.
Yeah,
Altuve. That's the one person I will say if Marinaccio comes into face. Altuve, do not throw anything in the strike zone to Altuve first pitch. That dude eats up the first pitch. Have you his numbers? He's got like 8 home runs this year on the first pitch, batting like 400. Like, don't throw him anything down the middle today. However, I say that and watch. It'll be a leadoff home run from Altuve in the bottom of the first inning today, off of a fastball down the middle, first pitch.
It definitely happens.
But I don't know, dude. I love this episode. Love Marinaccio. He's my guy, so I'm very happy he's doing the damn thing. I will say some of his peripherals are definitely not that favorable this month. Like, it's kind of funny. You look at Marinaccio's first 2 months from like April and May peripherals, and they're all like, oh, he got unlucky. And then you look at this month, and it's like, oh, he's getting really lucky. I'm like, well, which one is it, guys? I do think some of his batted ball luck is apparent. Like I said, he has a lot of them that batters give a good ride to, and it goes to the deep parts of the outfield. But then you also see it's like he has like 5 or 6 infield pop-ups this month. And it's like, well, that's all you can ask for out of a relief pitcher, is to deceive the hitter enough to where he's under something so much so that it goes right to the second baseman. So I don't know. I'm very pleased with Marinaccio.
Me too. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe as always. Leave your thoughts below on Marinaccio, how you think he's performed. Obviously, we think he's been pretty good so far and hopefully continues to be. Much love for all the support as well. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, so please help us get there if you haven't subscribed just yet. It would really mean the world to us as we build this awesome community around the New York Yankees, and hopefully you guys are all involved and for the long term. Should be a fun, good time. I'm really excited, but hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.